WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Scott Martin. A man is charged with vehicular manslaughter after a crash that left 3 people dead last month. Macon police saying the driver was driving drunk. Our Quentin Smith has been following the latest developments today. He joins us live in the studio with more.
Scott, Macon Police Chief Lucius Mason says 44-year-old Darren Howard was driving the car with 3 other Aliceville men inside who were killed in the Macon crash back in September. Now, Chief Mason also says a toxicology report shows Howard's blood alcohol level was above the legal limit, which prompted these charges. 44-year-old Darren Howard sits behind bars at the Noxubee County Jail after Macon investigators charged him with 3 counts of vehicular manslaughter. The 2-car accident happened back on September 30th along Highway 45 and City Creek Road in Macon. 3 Aliceville men, 46-year-old Marvin Jackson, 29-year-old Tyrone McMullen, and 39-year-old Derek Ball were all pronounced dead at the scene.
From my investigation, they were all friends. They knew each other. They were all riding together. They came to a nightclub here in Macon, and after they left the nightclub, that's when the accident happened. Well, actually, after they left Macon, that's when the accident happened.
Macon Police Chief Lucius Mason says his investigation shows Howard was under the influence of alcohol at the time of the accident. The other driver involved in the crash was taken to the Noxubee County General Hospital, where she was treated and released. Chief Mason says this is an accident that could have been avoided.
It's sad all the way around, you know, just one act by him that he didn't make the right choices on. You know, it caused actually 4 lives, not 3, because, you know, if the thing pans out, you know, he may do time for it, you know. But it's nothing good about it.
Now, Howard is still recovering from his injuries. His bond is set at $100,000. Scott?
The name of the man killed in a fiery crash after fleeing from law enforcement is being released. Prentiss County Coroner Greg Sparks says the driver of the vehicle was Scotty Davis. State troopers say Davis turned off his lights and turned around when approaching a safety checkpoint on Highway 4 in Boonville. There was a pursuit down Carolina Road and ended when Davis crashed his vehicle into a tree on October 16th. He was pronounced dead at the scene. New tonight at 10, 2 teachers are arrested after allegedly having a student obtain prescription drugs for them. Alana Harris and Jill Todd are charged with inducing a minor to commit a felony. The 2 were arrested yesterday after reportedly having a 16-year-old student get Loratab and Adderall pills for him. According to Assistant District Attorney Steve Jubera, the student was never in any danger and is being viewed as a victim. It's unclear if either woman has an attorney, and there has been no confirmation if the teachers are still employed. Tupelo City Leaders Council members say they are satisfied with actions taken by employees in the wake of last week's boil water notice after E. coli was found. A special meeting was held to review events that led up to that boil water notice. Council members asked water and light supervisors to explain how samples are collected each month from homes across the city. They were told the boil water notice likely occurred because of a tainted sample. The alert was issued by the State Health Department after 1 sample out of 40 tested positive for coliform and E. coli. Water and Sewer Superintendent Greg Reed says more options for collecting samples will be considered, including installing a device at the water meter.
It goes meter box with the meter, and it would have a sampling site located on the city side of the meter to where we could pull a sample there and not use the water in the home.
These samples were taken Friday and sent to the State Health Department. All of those samples were clear, and the boil water notice was lifted Saturday afternoon. Time now to get a first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Good evening, Keith.
Hey Scott, we had a pretty nice sunset out there this evening. Check this one out right there. A little bit of color, some of those clouds going away. Temperatures right now into the 40s and low 50s. A lot of spots now dipping down into the 40s. Forecast lows still into the mid to upper 30s in most spots. And it can't rule out some patchy frost. The official frost advisory north of Tupelo, New Albany, Boonville north. But all areas are a game, especially if you live in a low-lying sheltered spot. As we get into tomorrow, a lot of sunshine, still into the 60s, not as breezy. 64 the forecast high. Full forecast in just a few minutes.
Hunting season fast approaching. Deputies are reminding hunters to keep an extra eye on their four-wheelers and ATVs. Deputies say the season also brings out thieves looking for a chance to make a quick grab. Jory Talley explains.
When hunting season comes around, more ATVs start cranking up.
They're ready to go deer hunt. I mean, we started November 1st will be the main deer hunting season, but you've already had turkey season start and everything else, and that's what you use four-wheelers for.
As more four-wheelers and side-by-sides crank up, more spot and stills start ramping up.
When we have interviewed some people, they'll say, well, I was riding by, I saw it sitting there. So I came back that night, key was in it, I got it. So if you're going to leave it, at least make it a little difficult for them to get it. Like put it on the back, put a chain on it.
Village Cycle Center owner Paula Ivy says many customers will call in about their stolen ATVs, but they don't have the needed information for investigators to track it down. Ivy says to have a picture of it, know the color, the model, the make, and most importantly, this number.
The serial numbers are at different places on different manufacturers, and lots of times if you put a winch on them, you cover up the serial number, and so then it's not readily available for anybody to check. You have to take the winch off.
Noxubee County Sheriff Terry Grassery says hunting equipment is a hot commodity for criminals during these upcoming months.
Trailers, make sure you paint them or put a certain number on it, because trailers usually don't have a serial number. They're just trailers. But make sure you do something that distinguishes yours for anybody else's. That's any kind of your hunting gear.
But why do thieves want them more now than in the summer months?
They want one for a low price. So that's just the way it is. Just high demand. Christmas coming up. The kids want them, and the people try to get it for the kids, and then you got thieves out there working, trying to do it. It's just that we're not going to have that in Knoxville County.
Ivy says it's wise to have insurance on your ATVs, and it's important to note any damage your outdoor vehicle may have. She also says that it's not a good idea to leave your ATVs at deer camp unless you have a way to lock them down. Well, months after the devastation from Hurricane Harvey, Mississippians are still giving back. Today, United Way Day of Caring event was held in West Point. Volunteers were lending a hand to help those in Houston continue their road to recovery. Volunteers spent the morning loading up a Royal Trucking big rig with non-perishable items, cleaning supplies, and personal hygiene products. Mississippi Blood Services also held a blood drive. United Way Executive Director Stacy Hayes says recovery efforts in Houston will be long-term, and this is just a little extra help that'll help several agencies and volunteers from area businesses participated in today's Day of Caring. Students from across the Golden Triangle are thinking about future training for job opportunities. They got a glimpse of what programs are offered at EMCC at the school's annual reality fair today. This year's event was carnival themed. Each department from the college put together a booth full of activities, making the interactions with everyone more fun. More than 1,000 students from 17 schools were there to check out what career opportunities they have after high school.
Weather-wise today, a mix of sun and clouds. Those clouds thinning on out. We'll have a chilly night tonight. More sun tomorrow, a little bit warmer. By the end of the work week, then we'll cool it down again. That roller coaster ride is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
All right, we're on this roller coaster ride. Watch this. Watch this. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ooh, baby. There we go. Okay, let's have a little ride of these roller coaster temperatures. Wow, it's going to be a bit of an up and down journey. Hold on tight, friends. We've got 30s tonight, 70s Thursday and Friday. Back into the 30s, probably Saturday night, Sunday night. Several opportunities for a frost or freeze, or maybe shorts and t-shirt type weather here for Thursday, maybe even Friday too. Today, our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Vernon. You can see some of those clouds going on by. And they were fair weather cumulus clouds, very thin, very flat, stable air in place. And we'll see this again. I want to show you the little dot that will come on into the picture right there below the V in Vernon. That was the planet Saturn to the bottom right of the moon on the western horizon this evening. Pretty cool. There's another sunset picture from Barbara as that sun was going on down. Temperatures right now across the Twin States into the 40s and 50s. Lows tonight down into the mid to upper 30s. A chilly one. Patchy frost possible. Cover those plants if you do live in one of those low-lying sheltered spots. Wednesday, 44 degrees at 8 o'clock, 58 at noon, 64 at 4 o'clock. A lot of sunshine here tomorrow afternoon. And as we get into your Thursday, mid to possibly upper 70s in the region. Very nice and warm with southerly breezes. Still in the 70s, most likely in a good chunk of the area on Friday. But there will be a cold front that will come on in late. Clouds will increase. We'll see a chance for some showers and cooler air for the weekend. But westerly breezes tomorrow should allow things to be okay. Southerly breezes, though, on Thursday with that sun will really warm us up. There's the front on Friday, a chance for a few showers with it. It could be a bit of a soggy Friday evening for high school football. We really haven't had that this season. That activity should go away by early afternoon on Saturday, so we should see some developing sunshine, but cooler temperatures behind that front. Here's our 7-day forecast. Look at this. 64 degrees tomorrow, 76 Thursday, mid-70s possible again on Friday. Late Friday into Saturday morning, here comes the front. Clouds, showers, and then we tumble back down into the 50s for highs this weekend. Lows into the 30s again Saturday night, Sunday night, and then a quick rebound again back into the 60s and 70s next week. It's got a true roller coaster ride.
All right, thanks, Keith. And while you were riding roller coasters, meteorologist Amanda Reynolds and Jacob Dickey spent the evening at New Hope Middle School for the 3rd annual Family Science Night. All the fun wrapped up about 7:30. See Amanda there taking pictures and showing them some science. I believe it was a tornado project there. So fun time with meteorologist Amanda Reynolds and Jacob Dickey this evening. The Golden Triangle Outdoors held their 5th annual banquet tonight at the American Legion building in Columbus. There was a live and silent auction along with door prizes for those in attendance. Some of the items auctioned off included knives, guns, camo, pictures, and other accessories. Food was also served to everyone there in attendance. A new brain study is helping veterans heal after suffering brain injuries in combat. Why one doctor says this could be a breakthrough.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
With brain damage from 40 countries are going to New Orleans for treatment. A local doctor there has now completed a new study of veterans who in the past were unconscious from explosions. Here's Meg Ferris.
Prescription Health is brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle.
Lieutenant Mike Myers remembers at least 4 serious head injuries while serving in the Air Force and Army for 35 years.
If you see stars, something's happening.
Then came debilitating symptoms.
It's like my head was in a vice and being crushed. I would just lay in a fetal position for 2 to 12 hours a day.
His balance, hand-eye coordination, and memory were also affected. He had suicidal thoughts. Prescriptions like methadone, muscle relaxers, made him unable to climb ladders doing gutter work. Then he heard about the treatments Dr. Paul Harch was doing on people with brain injuries using 40 hyperbaric oxygen dives.
After my, I think, 13th dive, I stopped recording the migraine. And it's been 4 years and a month.
Dr. Harch just had his latest study published on 30 Afghanistan and Iraq veterans with serious brain injuries.
Not only that they improved cognitively and symptomatically, and that their depression and anxiety was reduced. We found that nearly all of them were no longer suicidal, and that 75% of them were no longer having panic attacks.
Brain scans show the damaged brain's rough tissue on the right compared to the smooth, normal brain on the left. After 40 treatments, the veteran's brains improved. He says it's affecting which genes are turned on or off.
So every time you go in a chamber, we're stimulating tissue growth, stopping inflammation, and turning off cell death.
Today, a new Israeli study on hyperbaric oxygen for brain injuries showed a growth of new blood vessels and tissue in the brain. It's win or go home for area volleyball teams looking to advance in the state tournament. Highlights from all over the area next in sports.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel.
Area volleyball teams look to keep their seasons alive as we jump into round 2 action of the state volleyball tournament. To Tupelo we go, Class 3, Lady Wave taking on Clinton. First set, Lady Wave up early. Lexi Freeman on the return, Clinton gets the dig. Addie Bridges with the kill for the point. Lady Wave extend that early lead. Same set, Addie Bridges, she's going to set it up on a platter here for Lee Ellis Gresham with the kill. That's the way you get the point. More from Tupelo now. Just keep on piling it on. Lady Wave up big in the first set. Addie Parker Spees with the serve. Laser Beam with the ace. Lady Wave extend that lead. So game point here for Tupelo. After the dig from Lee Ellis Gresham, Addie Parker Spees sets to Reagan Cook. Have mercy. Look out below. That's the way you finish a set. Tupelo gets the 3-game sweep over Clinton to advance to the Final Four on Thursday of the Class 3 volleyball playoffs. The New Albany student body showing out in full force, supporting the Volley Dogs, taking on 5A Power Lewisburg. Disadvantage for the Lady Dogs. A block party here. Emma Blakemore says, no soup for you. That gives New Albany a point and an early lead. Unfortunately, the bigger school comes back. Maggie Moore with the ace. Lewisburg wins first set 25-22. New Albany trying to gain in the second set. More blocks, that's the way you do it. The defense, I love it, but Lewisburg takes set 2 again. So third set we go. Lady Bulldogs playing tough. The block party continues. That would tie it up at 23 in the third set. New Albany trying to stay alive, but the visitors would get the next 2 points and end New Albany's historic season. Lady Bulldogs finish 27-2 as Lewisburg gets the W. Choctaw County facing St. Andrews in round 2. It was the Allie Brown show in the first set. Shakira Smith is going to set Brown here. She's going to bring the Thunder for the point. She wasn't done just yet. Macy Claire Cagle, great dig. Deja Vu Smith to Brown. Have mercy. Easy on the volleyball. Have mercy, would you? Late Chargers win first set. Into set 2, St. Andrews trying to answer. LaGenesis Johnson says, nope. With the block, Mutombo finger wag. Wouldn't be the only time we see that, because here in set 2, textbook volleyball bump, set Johnson with the spike for the kill. Another finger wag. Like it. So Choctaw County wins the first 2 sets. Then everything changes. St. Andrews answering. Alex Ebner with a block of her own. Lewisburg would win the next 3 sets to deliver a heartbreaker to Choctaw County in 5 sets. The Lady Chargers season comes to an end in round 2. Also in state volleyball action, Oxford falls on the road to DeSoto Central 3-1. Look at those games. After game 1 or set 1, Oxford lost by 5, won by 5, lost by 3. It's a tough way to go out as the Lady Chargers season ends on the road. An enormous Friday full of football, and that's going to have playoff spots, divisions, seedings on the line. For this week's game of the week, we're bringing out the trifecta. That's right, 3 games of the week, headquartered in Pontotoc for the Warriors, taking on the Shannon Red Raiders, Region 2-4A championship on the line. If Pontotoc wins, they're it. If Shannon wins, well, then it just gets weird. A possible 3-way tie if the Red Raiders pull it off. We'll be there to see how it goes down on Friday. And then into West Alabama, another divisional championship on the line between the Vernon Bulldogs taking on Sullivan. The Blue Devils, they look to knock off the Lamar County Bulldogs as the reigning champs of that division. The rivalry is fierce. We heard plenty of it in the 60 and 60 tour. It's about to get even better. And last but not least, 2 powerhouses in 1A squaring off. Thunder and Lightning, Chris Smith, Tamias Glass, and Nanawaya taking on Magic Dusted Moffitt and the Smithville Seminoles. Great game there. We'll be anchoring our coverage live from the Hollow Friday. We'll have reports from all 3 sites coming up Friday as well. Buckle up, folks. It's going to be a wild and wacky day of football. Also, the Mississippi AP polls were released. West Point stays at number 1, Tupelo up to number 2. Make sure you go to our website, WCBI.com, to see the full rankings of this week in high school football. That's it for sports. The last year forecast coming up next.
All right, it's going to be cool.
Cool tonight and more sun tomorrow, though.
Sounds good. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.